Welcome to BackToKidAgain.com. At our channel, you will be taken back to your magical childhood, where you will reunite with legendary characters like Thach San, Tom Kam, and many more. Before watching the video, we invite you to support our channel's sponsor, Mr. Calvin Ha Phan, a life insurance specialist. Are you looking for a solid financial protection plan for your family and future? Let Calvin Ha Phan, a highly experienced life insurance expert, help you find the best protection plan. Dedicated and professional consultation for all ages assistance with setting up life insurance policies across all 50 states in the U.S. Officially licensed, California. Life insurance license number 0K94959, Texas. Life insurance license number 3062871. Call now, 733-253-4509, for a free consultation and get the best insurance plan for you and your family. Protect today. Peace of mind for tomorrow.
The Staff of Life and Death, Cham Ethnic Tale. Long ago, there were two lovers, a girl named Ma Talah and a boy named Lihik. Their love was deep and unwavering, but because they followed different faiths, their parents and relatives scolded them and did everything to tear them apart. At the edge of the village was a small mound with a pile of straw, their secret meeting place. Every evening after dinner, Ma Talah and Lihik would meet there to share their hearts, lament their fate, and only part ways late at night. One night, as usual, Ma Talah went to the straw pile to wait for Lihik. That evening, Lihik was delayed by some business and arrived late. When he reached the spot, his beloved was nowhere to be found. Searching around, he found her scarf dropped nearby. A sense of dread told him something terrible had happened. Heartbroken, Lihik picked up the scarf and trudged home. That night, he sat alone, sobbing until dawn. At the first call of the beam-beep bird at sunrise, Lihik returned to the straw pile to investigate. As he suspected, Ma Talah had been abducted by a Hà Niêu, a tiger spirit in human form, to be his wife, not devoured by a beast, as there were no traces of blood or struggle. Devastated but determined, Lihik resolved to slay the Hà Niêu and rescue his love. From that day, Lihik visited villagers who traded in the high mountains, eventually asking to join their caravan. They gladly agreed, and he prepared for the journey. After days of climbing peaks and crossing streams, sleeping in forests and thickets, the group reached distant villages where the sky met the mountains. In a dense forest with trees so large several people could embrace them, Lihik sensed this was the Hà Niew's domain. While the others were distracted, he slipped away, venturing deep into the woods, scaling peaks, crossing ravines, and searching caves for the Hà Niew's lair. Days passed without a trace of Ma Talah. One afternoon, at the mouth of a cave shaded by a massive tree, Lihik spotted Ma Talah sitting by a fire. Overjoyed, he called out to her. Startled, she turned and, seeing him, was overwhelmed with joy. But she quickly signaled him to stay quiet. Rushing to his side, Ma Talah wept silently. After a moment, she asked how he had found her and reached this place. As they spoke, a sudden storm roared through the forest. Knowing the Hà Niêu was returning, Ma Talah urged Lihik to stay calm and kill the beast. Following her gesture, he climbed the tallest tree by the cave. From the treetop, Lihik saw the Hà Niêu approach, carrying a deer in its jaws. The creature's eyes glowed red as it sniffed the air and growled at Ma Talah. "Someone's been here, and they're still nearby. Who dares trespass?" Knowing she couldn't deceive the Hà Niêu, Ma Talah feigned affection and said, "No intruder would dare come here. It's only my brother who came to visit. When you took me, my family grieved, so they sent him to find me. Fearing your anger, he's hiding in that tall tree." The Hà Niêu, believing her, told her to call her brother down to meet. Seeing the creature's sincerity, Ma Talah felt reassured and summoned Lihik. That night, the Hà Niêu treated Lihik like family. Lihik spoke carefully, saying he was glad to see his sister safe and would return home tomorrow to share the news. The Hà Niêu urged him to stay longer, promising to hunt a gift for his parents. That night, Ma Talah and Lihik lay awake, plotting their escape, while the Hà Niêu slept soundly. At the first crow of a jungle fowl, the Hà Niêu slipped out to hunt. Once it was gone, the lovers blocked the cave entrance with firewood and set it ablaze. When the flames roared, they fled eastward down the mountain. After a while, they reached a valley with a wide, raging river. As they struggled to find a way across, a rabbit emerged from the bushes and asked, "Greetings. Where are you headed? Trying to cross this river? You seem troubled. Can I help?" Lihik and Ma Talah recounted their story, hoping the rabbit could aid them. The rabbit replied, "Hurry along the river for half a mile, and you'll find a ferry. I'll stay here to trick the Hà Niêu if it pursues you." Thanking the rabbit, they rushed off. Meanwhile, the Hà Niêu, after hunting a wild boar, returned to find the cave entrance engulfed in flames. Unable to enter or save its cubs, it roared for Ma Talah and her brother, but only the forest echoed back. Realizing it had been deceived, the Hà Niêu roared in fury and chased after them. Spotting the Hà Niêu charging toward it, the rabbit calmly said, "Greetings, Hà Niêu. Why the rush? Chasing that couple who passed by?" The Hà Niêu demanded, "How long ago did they pass? Which way did they go? Tell me now." Annoyed by its tone but staying composed, the rabbit replied, "No need to shout. A couple passed here and I helped them cross the river. If you want my help, fetch a bundle of rattan from the forest." The Hà Niêu obeyed, quickly returning with the rattan. The rabbit instructed it to weave a basket with wide ends and a narrow middle, place a large stone in one end, and climb into the other, claiming it was a sturdy raft to cross the river safely. The gullible Hà Niêu followed every step. As soon as it jumped into the river, the basket sank, and the Hà Niêu drowned. Following the rabbit's directions, Lihik and Ma Talah reached a ferry where two men, dressed in white mourning clothes, the attire of Cham Brahmin priests, offered to help. They explained their small canoe could only carry one passenger at a time. After some thought, Lihik let Ma Talah cross first. The ferrymen were two Passe priests, one a high-ranking Passe Pua, the other a junior Passe Lia. Captivated by Ma Talah's beauty, both secretly desired her. As the canoe reached the shore, the Passe Lia suddenly collapsed dead. The Passe Pua, unfazed, urged Ma Talah ashore, his eyes fixed on her. Alarmed but quick-witted, Ma Talah noticed his staff and asked, "Oh, how marvelous! What magic does your staff, with one pointed end and one blunt, possess?" The priest, flattered, grinned and explained, "This is a divine staff. The pointed end is the end of life, reviving the dead, no matter how long gone. The blunt end is the end of death, killing instantly with a touch." Ma Talah recalled that just before docking, the priest had pointed the staff at the Passe Lia's neck, causing his death. Feigning admiration, she praised the priest's power and cooed, "May I have the honor of admiring this priceless staff?" Blinded by lust, the priest handed her the Gai Dru Paroi staff. Ma Talah examined it, showering it with praise. Then, when the priest let his guard down, she swiftly struck his neck with the blunt end. The lecherous priest collapsed dead. From that moment, Ma Talah and Lihik were separated. Waiting in vain for Lihik, Ma Talah donned the dead priest's robes, disguised herself as a monk, and clutching the divine staff, headed east. She arrived in a kingdom holding a grand funeral for the king's only daughter, the princess, on the day of her cremation. Seeing a group of women fetching water from a village well, Ma Talah approached a beautiful girl and asked, "What grand event is happening in your village today?" The girl replied, "Today is the Pahuak ceremony for the princess, who has passed away." Feigning surprise, Ma Talah declared loudly, "Why cremate her? Why not revive her?" In my land, the virtuous dead are brought back to life. I, a Pase, have restored many to life." The women, astonished, rushed to inform the king. Skeptical but intrigued, the king summoned the self-proclaimed Pase. He asked, "My servants report you're a skilled monk with the power to raise the dead. Is this true? If you can revive my daughter, I'll wed her to you and grant you land, soldiers, and riches." Ma Talah, disguised as the Pase, bowed and said, "Though my skills are humble, I accept your majesty's command." Using the staff's pointed end, Ma Talah revived the princess. News of the miracle and the upcoming wedding of the princess to the talented monk spread far and wide. Weeks later, the princess confided to her parents that her husband, despite a month of marriage, remained distant, melancholic, and refused to share her bed. The king summoned the monk and asked, "What troubles you? Why keep it from me?" Ma Talah, still disguised, replied, "Your Majesty, I am burdened by a personal matter. My brother has been missing for nearly a year. I've searched for him in vain. While seeking him, I was called to save your daughter. Until I find my brother, I cannot fully embrace joy." Moved by this loyalty, the king promised to help find the brother and declared a grand festival, inviting all to attend. For over 10 days, crowds gathered, but Ma Talah saw no sign of Lihik. On the verge of despair, she spotted a man resembling Lihik in the distance. She asked the king to summon him. Recognizing the monk's attire but hearing her whisper his name, Lihik knew it was Ma Talah. They embraced, recounting their trials. Together, they knelt before the king, confessing their star-crossed love and begging his mercy to unite them. Touched by their story, the king proclaimed, "What noble hearts! Before my court, I bless your union. This disguised monk, bound by her first love, shall be the primary wife. My daughter, saved by her and arriving later, I give to Lihik as a secondary wife to bond as sisters with Talah. As I am old and have but one daughter, I pass my throne to Lihik to rule and guide my people." The court rejoiced, hailing Emperor Lihik, Queen Talah, and secondary consort Hala Muk, wishing them a prosperous reign. The end. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to hit like to support me, share the video to spread great stories, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest videos. Remember to click the notification bell to get updates as soon as a new video is released. Come back to the channel often so we can explore more fascinating stories together. See you in the next video.